Hey guys, happy Thursday. So today's message is all about surrounding yourself with people that lift you up, that empower you, that help you to stay focused in some gratitude. Now, if you're working in the NDIS sector, I encourage you not to read all the news reports. I encourage you to be careful where you post things at the moment, because the NDIS is seen to be, in the media, the perception is that it is people taking money off vulnerable people just rorting the system and getting rich and having fancy holidays and, driving Mercedes and doing all this. No, most businesses are actually doing the right thing, and those businesses are struggling to keep their doors open. We know that the profit margin, especially for a support worker business, is around maybe 1 to 2%. We know for support coordinators, it's less than that, which is really scary. And we know for a lot of allied health that do only NDIS, that number is decreasing as well for any profit. And you might look at it and go, oh, they're charging $200 an hour. I know it's a little bit less, guys, but just go with it. But what are they doing for that? And I went to see a dietitian yesterday, just part of pre-surgery, and the fee was $120. It was $120 for an hour appointment. So, and she has overheads, and every business has overheads and has taxes and work covers and all of that. So there's going to be people out there that only see the wrong, but we know there's a lot of good, and we know that this scheme could work really well. I have so many success stories of where it's helped people so much. But what's overriding all of those successes and what's overriding all of those amazing businesses is the negativity, which, I'm not going to go into it. I was going to talk about a particular company's, the number of times they've been in the media. But no, I don't want to give energy to that. What I want to give energy to is not everybody's going to like what we do. And it just happens that the NDIS, and I'm a business coach and a personal coach, so I'm not specifically NDIS, but a lot of people are getting a lot of negativity. They don't deserve it because they're out there actually doing a really good job. So let's build up a supportive community that supports each other, that builds each other up, and that says, okay, how are you going? How's your business going? How are you going? How are you coping with all these changes? And let's support each other to stay up to date. Look, I get shot down every time a legislation changes, and every time NDIS changes something or brings something in. I share the information. I cop a lot of abuse because people tend to think I've done it, but I haven't. So let's support each other. Let's not shoot the messenger. And even if somebody's misunderstood something or their experience is different to your experience or how it should be, let's support them and say, wow, I wonder what happened there, and get a little bit curious about, oh, so that plan got that. I wonder what happened. What did you do? What didn't you do? Learn and grow and support. What if we gave that a go? Rather than feeding into more negativity, we can bring the positivity out. I know it's not going to be easy. I know that a lot of people are feeling burnt out. I know that a lot of people are feeling uncertain. I know a lot of businesses are either going into liquidation or closing their doors every day. 2 phone calls every day on that exact topic. I can't keep going. I love my clients. I love working with them. Their funding's been cut. I can't get any more clients at the moment. It's really hard. Or I'm working with 3 times as many people just to cover a base income. I'm getting burnt out because of the hours because of the driving around. So it's not consistent hours. For those of you that are not overly familiar with support work, you could get a 2-hour shift and then have to drive 3/4 of an hour to another 2-hour shift. And then you might have to drive half an hour to, maybe a 3-hour shift. and then you got to go home. So you could have spent 2 to 3 hours in your day driving around just to do, 7 hours of work. It takes a lot out of you with all of that. And these are some of the things that a lot of people don't realize. In support work, shifts can be, 2 hours, and then you get there and the person says, nope, I need you to go now, and you've only been there for half an hour. There's a lot of that. And you have to adapt to that, and you have to sit back and think, oh, now what I'm going to do, because if I go home, then I've got to drive further. And yeah, there's a lot that you've got to think on the spot. A lot of changes happen. These are the parts that people don't see. There's also people that can't help it, but they're aggressive. It's just part of their dementia, or it's part of their ABI, and they're aggressive. And so the support worker's walking in, and no matter how positive they are, no matter how skilled they are, they may get hit, they may be abused. And people go, well, toughen it up and get over it, or just don't do it if it's going to impact you. But you can start with it not impacting you, and then eventually it impacts you. So when people are exposed to constant negativity and constant abuse, no matter how resilient they are, it starts to break through their protective barrier. And at some point, it gets too much. And that is normal human psychology. So this is where supportive community, building each other up and being as positive as we can, especially because there's more changes coming. 100% more changes are coming. And we know that we have more questions than answers at this point. But hang in there. If you love your job, if you love what you're doing, and your business is important to you, and you're doing it because you do care, because you love what you do, and at the end of the day, you'd love to earn money doing what you love. I mean, who wouldn't? I'm the same. Then build yourself a really supportive community and stay up to date. So important. Take care of you.